And today is 2020, August 18th. And who is presenting today?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Ah, it's the national traveler. Yes. Okay. Somebody else will be your chief guest.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay.
Does anyone...
We Monkey Piggy and Tom Brown will retire to the general gallery and listen to the class.
Would anyone like to be the chief guest?
Hare Krishna, Sugopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Janava Mataji.
I can be your gift. Pardon. Yes, sorry.
Thank you. So before I start, I would like to ask for the blessings of Guru Maharaj. I'm quite unqualified in every way and compared to him, so I would like to ask for his blessings before I start.
Hare Krishna, can you do something memorable?
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
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 Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Brajajaranandana.
Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Brajajaranandana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe,
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ashtasakhi Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
So today I thought I'll do Canto 2, Chapter 7, Verse 7. Since Guru Maharaj did verse 6 yesterday, I thought I will just do the next verse. Can you see the next slide, Mataji?
Oh, not yet?
Okay.
Now, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Please repeat
I
after
can see.
me.
Okay.
Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
Kāmaṁ dahanty kṛtino kāmaṁ dahanty kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
roṣaṁ dahantam tena dahanty asahyam.
roṣam dahantam dahanty asahyam.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Kāmaḥ kathaṁ nu punar asya manaḥ śrayeta.
Kathaṁ nu punar asya śrayeta.
Guru Maharaj, would you like to chant?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
roṣaṁ dahantam dahanty asahyam.
roṣaṁ dahantam dahanty asahyam.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Kāmaḥ punar asya manaḥ śrayeta.
kāmaḥ punar asya manaḥ śrayeta. Janava Mataji, would you like to chant?
Yes. Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
roṣam dahantam dahanty asahyam.
roṣaṁ dahantam dahanty asahyam.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Kāmaṁ kathaṁ nu punar asya śrayeta.
Kāmaḥ kathaṁ nu punarasya manaḥ śrayeta. Thank you, Mataji. Would any other devotees like to chant?
Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
roṣam dahantam utatena dahanty asahyam.
roṣam dahantam utatena dahanty asahyam.
Swayam yat antaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Kāmaḥ kathaṁ punar asya manaḥ śrayeta.
Kāmaḥ kathaṁ punar asya manaḥ śrayeta. Okay.
nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
roṣam dahantam utatena dahanty asahyam.
roṣam dahantam utatena dahanty asahyam.
Soyam yat antaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Kāmaḥ punar asya manaḥ śrayeta.
Kāmaḥ kathaṁ punar asya manaḥ śrayeta.
kāmaṁ dahanti roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
Kāmaṁ dahanti kṛtino nanu roṣa-dṛṣṭyā.
roṣaṁ dahanti utatena dahanti asahyam.
roṣam dahantam utatena dahanty asahyam.
soyam yahantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
Soyam yadantaram alaṁ praviśan bibheti.
kāmaṁ kathaṁ punarasya manaṁ śrayeta.
Kāmaḥ kathaṁ punar asya manaḥ śrayeta. Okay, I'll go to the word by word meanings now. Janava Mataji, can you see the next slide?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Kāmaṁ,
Kāmaṁ,
lust.
lust.
Dahanti,
Dahanty,
chastise.
chastise.
Kṛtinaḥ,
Kṛtinaḥ,
great stalwarts.
great stalwarts.
Nanu,
Manu,
but.
but.
roṣa-dṛṣṭyā,
roṣa-dṛṣṭyā,
by wrathful glance.
by wrathful glance.
roṣam,
roṣaṁ,
wrath.
wrath.
Dahantam,
Dahantam,
being overwhelmed.
being overwhelmed.
Uta,
Uta,
although.
although.
Te,
Te,
they.
they.
Na,
Na,
cannot.
cannot.
Dahanti,
Dahanty,
subjugate.
subjugate.
Asahyam,
Asahyam,
intolerable.
intolerable.
Saha,
Saha,
that.
that.
Ayam,
I am.
him.
Him,
Yat,
yet.
because.
Because.
Antaram,
Antaram,
within.
within.
Alaṁ,
Alaṁ,
however.
however.
Praviśan,
Praviśan,
entering.
entering.
Bibheti,
Bibheti,
is afraid of.
is afraid of.
Kāmaḥ,
Kāmaḥ,
lust.
lust.
Kathaṁ,
Kathaṁ,
How?
How?
Nu.
Nu.
As a matter of fact.
As a matter of fact.
Punaha.
Punaha.
Again.
Again.
Asya.
Asya.
His.
His.
Manaḥ.
Manaḥ.
Mind.
Mind.
Śrayeta.
Śrayeta.
Take shelter of.
Take shelter of.
Okay.
Die.
Oops. Can you see the next slide, Mataji?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Great
Jai
stalwarts
Shri
like
Prabhupada.
Great stalwarts like Lord Shiva can, by their wrathful glances, overcome lust and vanquish him. Yet they cannot be free from the overwhelming effects of their own wrath. Such wrath can never enter into the heart of him, the Lord, who is above all this. So how can lust take shelter in his mind? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare Rama Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare Hare.
Hare.
Okay, so I'll start reading the purport a few sentences at a time like Guru Maharaj does. When Lord Shiva was engaged in severely austere meditation, Cupid, the demigod of lust, threw his arrow of sex desire. Lord Shiva, thus being angry at him, glanced at Cupid in great wrath, and at once the body of Cupid was annihilated. So this happened to many demigods and many sages. Cupid tries to come and make them fall down. And many of them actually fell for Kamadeva or Cupid, but some of them didn't, like Lord Shiva. He burned him down with his wrath. And some of the people who did fall down are, for example, the sage Vishwamitra. He was practicing many austerities, very rigorous austerities, but then when the Apsara Menaka came from heaven, then he got attracted to her. But Lord Shiva was not like that. He just burned Cupid to ashes. But then that made him angry, and he had a lot of wrath, and he couldn't overcome that wrath. Although Lord Shiva was so powerful, he was unable to get free from the effects of such wrath. And another person who is very powerful but could not control his anger is the sage Durvasa. He appears many times in many of the stories that we hear. For example, basically he's famous for cursing people, so everyone is very careful not to make him angry. He's a very powerful sage and he has many mystic powers, but he also gets very angry. For example, with Ambarish Maharaj, he got very angry just because he drank a little bit of water to break his Ekadashi fast. He got very angry and created a demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj. And he also appears in the Mahabharata a few times. Once is when Kunti was very small and he came to her father's kingdom and she served him very nicely, so thankfully he didn't become very angry at her. He actually gave her a boon that she can have children with any demigod that she wants. And then another time is when Duryodhana, he went to Duryodhana's palace, and Duryodhana also served him very well. And he actually tried to use him to harm the Pandavas by sending him there when they had no food, because if they didn't give him any food, then he would become angry and curse them. But Krishna saved them at that time, so they didn't get cursed by Durvasa Muni. But anyways, the point is that there are several powerful people like this who can do so many things and who have so many siddhis, but they can't control their own anger. And this verse is telling us that, but in the behavior of Lord Vishnu, there is no incident of such wrath at any time. So when I read this, I was thinking that, but he does become angry. But when I thought about it, I realized that he becomes angry only when his devotees are offended, not when someone commits an offense to the Lord himself, but when someone commits an offense to those dear to him. So Prabhupada gives an example of Bhrigu Muni's pastime with Lord Vishnu here. On the contrary, Bhrigu Muni tested the tolerance of the Lord by purposely kicking his chest. But instead of being angry at Bhrigu Muni, the Lord begged his pardon, saying that Bhrigu Muni's leg might have been badly hurt because his chest is too hard. The Lord has the sign of the foot of Bhrigu Pada as the mark of tolerance. So Bhrigu Muni went to the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. He went to Brahma, and I think he didn't pay obeisances to Brahma, so it was a offense of the mind, and Brahma became very angry at that time. And then he went to Lord Shiva and he insulted him through his words, saying when Lord Shiva tried to embrace him, he said that you're so dirty and you have snakes all over you. Why would I want to embrace you? So then Lord Shiva also becomes very angry. But then he steps up his offenses with Lord Vishnu. He actually physically assaults him and kicks him on his chest. But Lord Vishnu doesn't become angry like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Instead, he says that, oh, your feet must be very hurt because my chest is so hard and your feet are so soft, so when you kicked me, that must have hurt you. So he had so much tolerance that even Brahma and Lord Shiva didn't have. When someone came to hurt him, he was going the extra mile and asking forgiveness because his chest was hard from that sage. So this is what I was discussing earlier, that the Lord does become angry, but only when his devotees are insulted. So throughout many incarnations of the Lord, we have examples of this. And I thought of a verse from one song of Narottam Das Thakur. This song is about the Vaishnava. So he says, Haristhane aparadhe tare harinam, Tomasthane aparadhe nahi paritran. The holy name delivers one who has committed an offense to Lord Hari. But if one commits an offense to you, who is the devotee, there is no means of deliverance. So Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu takes this very seriously if we offend his devotee. So this is like the greatest offense that we can commit. It's even greater than offending the Lord himself. So he becomes very angry when something like this happens. And the first pastime I thought of is Durvasa Muni's pastime. He comes to the kingdom of Ambarish Maharaj. I think the day Ambarish Maharaj was doing a 1-year Ekadashi fast. So the day he was supposed to break that 1-year fast, Durvasa Muni comes. So Ambarish Maharaj says, why don't you honor some prasad here at my home? Then Durvasa Muni says, sure, but I want to go take a bath first. So when he goes to take the bath, the fast breaking time for Ekadashi is running out for Ambarish Maharaj. So if he doesn't break Ekadashi in that specified time, he has to do a whole 1 more year fast for Ekadashi. So he was running out of time and Durvasa Muni was not returning. But the etiquette is that you don't eat before your guest. So Ambarish Maharaj consulted with the Brahmanas and they said, you can just drink water, so that way you break your fast, but at the same time you don't eat anything. But when Durvasa Muni comes back, he finds out that Ambarish Maharaj drank water without Durvasa Muni's presence. In other words, he ate before his guest, or he drank water before his guest. So he becomes very angry, and from his hair, he creates a demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj just for drinking water and breaking his Ekadashi fast. Durvasa Muni gets so angry that he wants to kill Ambarish Maharaj. But Lord Vishnu sent his Sudarshan Chakra to protect Ambarish Maharaj. So I think the Sudarshan Chakra kills that demon, and then it starts following Durvasa Muni, and he runs throughout all the planetary systems crying for his life. He goes to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. They say, sorry, we can't help you. And then he even goes to Lord Vishnu himself. But Vishnu also says that, sorry, I can't help you. Only if you ask for forgiveness from my devotee will the Sudarshan Chakra will it stop chasing you. So he goes and he falls at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish Maharaj forgives him. So here the Lord was not ready to forgive Durvasa Muni. Only when his devotee was ready to forgive him, then his wrath subsided at that time. That's how angry he was. And similarly, in the pastime of Lord Narasimhadev, Hiranyakashipu, the evil king, was torturing his son Prahlad through so many ways just for worshipping Lord Vishnu. He tried to kill him in so many ways. He threw him off of a cliff. He tried to boil him in burning oil. He had elephants trample him. He had snakes. He tried in so many ways, but Prahlad was not killed. And finally, Lord Narasimhadev comes out of the pillar, and he's so angry that he puts Hiranyakashipu on his lap and he rips him apart with his nails, and then he puts his intestines as a garland. And even still, after Hiranyakashipu has been killed, even still the Lord is so angry because of what he did to his devotee Prahlad. And only when Prahlad Maharaj goes and pacifies him does the Lord become calm. And then Prahlad Maharaj asks, the Lord says, please ask me for a boon. And first he says, I just want to be devoted to my spiritual master, Narada Muni. But then Lord Narasimhadev asks asks something more from me. Then he says, please forgive my father and please liberate him. And only then does the Lord agree. So his wrath subsides only because of The wrath comes because of his love for devotees and also subsides because of his love for them, because they're so compassionate and forgiving. He obliges to their requests of forgiving such wrongdoers. And yet another example is during the Kurukshetra battle, where Arjuna is fighting his grandfather Bhishma. And at one point, I think Arjuna's, because Bhishma is, he is very powerful. He was the grandfather of the Kuru dynasty, and he was very powerful, and Arjuna was trying to fight him. And at one point I think he was becoming weak and he wasn't being able to win. And Krishna, because Arjuna's life was in danger, Krishna got very angry and he picked up the wheel from Arjuna's chariot. Actually, Krishna promised that I won't take up any weapons during this war. I will only be observing and I'll only be Arjuna's chariot driver. But his love for his pure devotees is so great that he can even break his promise. So he took the wheel from the chariot and he rushed to Bhishma Dev to protect Arjuna, and you can see Arjuna stopping him. So this is one more example of how he got angry when his devotee was put into danger. And then in Kali Yuga we have Lord Chaitanya with Jagai and Madhai. Lord Chaitanya used to send Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur every day to preach to everyone and to teach them about Krishna consciousness. And he told them, don't discriminate between qualified or unqualified, just give the message of Krishna to everyone. So they decided to give it to the most sinful people who were in Bengal at that time. Their names were Jagai and Madhai. They used to rape women, they used to get intoxicated, they would torture people and steal things from them. But still, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur wanted to give them the Mahamantra to save them from this material world. So when Nityananda went to them and said, please chant Hare Krishna, they got so angry that they threw a pot which they were drinking wine in. They threw that pot on Lord Nityananda's forehead. So they were that disrespectful, and he started bleeding. And so when someone informed Lord Chaitanya, he came running again with the Sudarshan Chakra. He got so angry that he came running again to kill these people. But then Lord Nityananda said, this incarnation, we came in this incarnation not to kill people, but to save people through the holy name. So when Krishna came, he came to kill all these unwanted kings on the earth, but Lord Chaitanya didn't come to kill because we're all so fallen in this age. He came to give us mercy and to reform us rather than kill us. So Lord Nityananda reminded him of that, and he said that please have mercy on them, please don't kill them. And once again, due to his love for Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya put away the chakra, and he only embraced one of them, the one that didn't hit Lord Nityananda, but even later I think he gave mercy to both of them. So through these examples we can see that Krishna does become angry, but not when someone offends him, only when someone offends his dear devotee. So continuing with the purport, the Lord therefore is never affected by any kind of wrath. So how can there be any place for lust, which is less strong than wrath? When lust or desire is not fulfilled, there is the appearance of wrath, but in the absence of wrath, how can there be any place for lust? So when I read this, I remembered this verse from Bhagavad Gita. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate. So while contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment from them. From such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. So anger and frustration come only when we have a desire for something, when we want to obtain something, and when we don't get it. But the Lord has everything already. He has nothing else to obtain. And furthermore, he's so self-controlled. So there's no question of there being lust or anger for him. So ultimately, the conclusion is that the absolute personality of Godhead has neither lust nor anger. And even if there is sometimes a show of lust and anger by the absolute, it should be considered an absolute benediction. So I think in some verse in the second canto that Guru Maharaj was reading, in the purport, Prabhupada said that the demons that receive the opportunity to be personally killed by Krishna are quite fortunate, because not every demon received that. For Krishna came to remove all the unnecessary kings from the earth, but he did not personally kill every demon. In the Kurukshetra war, many demons died, but only a few got to be personally killed by Krishna. So even if, and also it's not an ordinary, all these demons that Krishna killed are not ordinary people. They had many qualifications. As we know, Jaya and Vijaya came for 3 lifetimes. And in Krishna Lila, they were Shishupala and Dantavakra. So these were important people in the spiritual world, at least I don't know about all the demons, but they were important people in the spiritual world, so they got this opportunity to be killed by Krishna. All the demons that he personally killed, like Dantavakra and, like Tenukasura and Trinavarta are some examples that I put here. So that's all I have. Thank you very much. Guru Maharaj, do you have any corrections or comments?
No. It's not been a nice analysis of different devils like that and their problems. Yeah. And of course, it's what is it, Lord Shiva is he's a very interesting person, no? He's
Yes, Guru Maharaj, it's quite confusing for me because we see him as the greatest devotee, and then Prabhupada uses him for examples like this.
yeah. Because but Prabhupada says that he associates with the material modes of nature, but he's not influenced by them. You know?
Okay.
But because he gets involved with them, so it appears like he's being involved by these things. You know? Otherwise, nobody could understand him. If there was only Vishnu, then all the motorcycle gangs drinking beer and selling guns and everything else, they would, they just go right by the church, and they laugh and that kind of stuff, But when Lord Shiva comes along, wow, he's like the biggest, meanest, guy, and he drinks more beer than anybody else, and these kind of things, So they're impressed then, So he was a functional incarnation of Krishna, functional material incarnation of Krishna. Yeah. So it seems like a nice explanation of the verse. We're seeing incarnations one after another. Where are you now? Where has your traveling Sankirtan party gone to? Are you still in Chicago?
No, Guru Maharaj, we reached New Haven on Sunday.
Oh, New Haven, Naya Ashram, new ashram. Okay. Do you have an ashram there?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Are there raccoons in the attic?
Hopefully not. I haven't checked.
Your house next door have any raccoons in the attic? Yeah. Well, when do you start school?
On August 31st, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. And right now you're doing the Sanskrit course?
I finished it, Guru Maharaj, last 2 weeks ago. I finished it.
It was how many courses are there in the series? This is the second one, no?
There are only 2, Guru Maharaj, actually.
Okay. So that's what is that equivalent to? It's like if you were taking French or German, that would be the same as 2 years of French?
Yes, it would be 2 years, yes.
Okay. And did they do the first year's course again this year, or just the second year?
They did the first year's course also. They do those 2 years every year, but then they don't have a higher level after that.
Do you know how many years it's been going on? 1, 10,
I think
100?
2004, Guru Maharaj.
Well, that's pretty good. Nice
Yeah.
interest. We were talking with Dr. Samaresh in India, and he's saying he's getting more and more requests to write, forewords to books and things. There's a new book coming out called Sanskrit Studies in Canada. There's some of the nice history and what's happening and how people are developing things. And in Australia, he said he was they had him also doing a lot of work to reorganize their Sanskrit studies and their Indian history studies like that. So it appears it's probably because of Prabhupada. Yeah. A lot more interest. Yeah. So anyway, what do you think about the chapter in general?
I wasn't able to read the whole chapter, Guru Maharaj, but I think I know that there are all the incarnations in this chapter. And I think, when was it? You presented the small Krishna book. Wasn't that a summary of this chapter, Guru Maharaj?
No, it's not a summary. It's included. It comes to It comes to that point. It's describing different incarnations. In the first, where have we seen a list of other incarnations in the Bhagavatam?
Canto 1, chapter 3.
Yeah. And then I think the only incarnation that gets more than one verse is Rama. Rama maybe gets 2. Yeah. So it's a very, very nice thing to compare because it's so similar. It's a very, very nice thing to compare this list of incarnations with a list of incarnations in the first canto. Yeah. So that's my only thought. Is I'm corresponding with Mr. Atul Krishna, and they're still working on the Bhakti Shastri study questions like that. But in the Vidyapit in Govardhan Eco Village, they've actually broadcasting now their first canto online study course, and they have maybe I'll put the advertisement up on the blog, and it's becoming pretty systematic, pretty well organized. It looks like, and of course, all of us are having a lot of influence on how they're developing it and stuff. So maybe we'll make a very wholesome, global Sanskrit-centric community. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe somebody else has some comments or anything? Yeah.
Okay, Guru Maharaj, thank you very much. Does anyone else have any comments?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my respectful obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept mine, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
No, I just want to say that thank you very much for your very nice class, and congratulations.
Thank
Please
you, Prabhupada.
keep going, inspiring us. Please keep going, inspiring us. Sorry, with your spirit, with your attitude. You are a big soul, and my obeisances to you. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Very nice class. Thank you very much.
I need all of your blessings so I can be a good servant of Guru Maharaj. You all are so determined to take his association. I hope to be like that one day. Thank you, Prabhu.
Carlos, back to Carlos.
Yes, Gurudev.
How old is your daughter?
She's almost 17 years old.
Oh,
Next.
My goodness, she's older than Sugopi.
Oh yeah. How old is Sugopi?
Sugopi is 12 years old, 11 years old.
I'm 15, Guru Maharaj.
She's almost,
Wow.
she's 15 going on 16. She's all grown up.
Wow. You're amazing, Sugo. You're amazing. Really amazing.
Yes, she is.
Amazing.
She is.
15 years old and giving a Srimad Bhagavatam class. Wow, amazing.
No.
And she's also going to become the world's weightlifting champion one year.
Yeah. We have hope. The hope is real because children and boys and girls like you are preaching. Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu message. It's amazing. I'm impressed. Congratulations. Please keep going on. Keep going on. Thank you very much. Really.
Thank you, Prabhu. I actually am quite lost without Guru Maharaj, so he's the only amazing person here, actually. Anyone else have any comments?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Sugopi Mataji, for the class. I would like to know if Gurudev can translate me because my English is not so good. So I would like you understand my commentary.
Your English is very well.
Yes, but Gurudev, if you can translate, please, because there son tres comentarios muy simples.
She has 3 very simple commentaries.
La importancia de leer la Bhagavad Gita,
The importance of reading the Bhagavad Gita,
porque Prabhupada nos está dando todas las soluciones a nuestros problemas.
because Prabhupada is giving us a solution for all of our problems.
Luego, y luego cuando uno realiza este conocimiento, dar este conocimiento.
Okay, and when one realizes this consciousness, one dara. ¿Qué pasa?
Darlo? Yes, give the knowledge, yes.
Oh, yeah. And when one gives this knowledge, then one realizes it.
Porque Gurudev, siempre recuerdo lo que usted dice.
I always remember what you said, Gurudev.
Las personas afuera están sufriendo y si nosotros tenemos este conocimiento, es importante que lo demos.
Yeah, and everybody is suffering, and we have this consciousness so we can help them.
So, Sugopi Mataji, thank you so much for this lecture. I'm so, estoy muy feliz. Thank you so much. So happy to hear your class. Thank you.
She is full of felicity. She's full of felicity.
Thank you for your encouragement. Please bless me.
Ave.
Thank you so much.
Ave Maria. Okay.
I think we have 9. Sorry,
Yeah,
Guru.
No, maybe we can stop here and you can all get back to go ahead with other work.
Thank you,
Please,
Guru.
I want to say something else. Today is Abhirama's birthday. Hoy día es el cumpleaños de Abhiram, mi hermano mayor, mi referencia, my reference, is a mentor for me, my Siksha Guru. Así que un abrazo, hermano, que tenga muy feliz cumpleaños hoy día, en tu día. Así que van chacal, hermano. Happy birthday, my brother. Abhiram Thakur. Das.
Happy birthday, Antaram.
There's going to be a big festival in Callao, in Peru. Yeah. There will be parades para desfiles en la calle en Callao hoy día. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Sugopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna.